Everybody, what's going on? Welcome to another episode of Personal Mastery Training. It's the Alliance, and the Alliance is two of us right now. That we have Raymond, Janak Tanya, and myself. Now, this is a very special episode that we're going to present to you. It's one that's filled with some sadness, definitely some sadness, and so on. This episode, we are going to announce the passing of one of our Alliance members, Dr. Charlie Cartwright. And he passed away November 8th from a short battle with cancer and ended having a stroke. Not the greatest of endings at all for a man who lived to share his truth, to share truth, to help the world be a better place. But just shows you that life, this is not a storybook. This is not a movie. This is not the hero rides off into the sunset on the white horse and all these things we would like to believe is life. This is life. This is life of unpredictable, which again leads to where we say, we want you to live. Don't get through it. Get from it, so you can thrive through life. So we're gonna call this one the legacy of Dr. Charlie Cartwright. From what we gleaned from him, his truth and the way he wanted to live his life and the way he lived his life in our eyes. And we're gonna share that with you. The lessons, again, don't get through it, get from it. What did we get from Dr. Charlie? So we'll begin there. I met Dr. Charlie about 11 or 12 years ago through my mentor. You've often heard me talk about my mentor, Dr. Tom Hill. And I met Charlie through Dr. Tom Hill's association. He called it the Eagles Summit. And it's a summit where high-performing individuals will get together, anywhere from up to 100 individuals will get together, and we invite speakers in, we collaborated, we networked to help raise each other up. Now, Dr. Charlie was a speaker at that event about 11 years ago. He was a speaker at one of our events, and automatically I just was drawn to him and his story, and he was so humble and presented a very powerful session. So we hit it off. We got talking, hit it off, decided to have, hey, why don't we get together, have these conversations every Sunday? It started out as we got on the phone and we started talking, and next thing you know, it ended up being like an hour and a half, 2 hour conversation about life and our path and everything else. And we kept having these conversations over and over, and it went on for years. Every Sunday, hey, you want to meet on Sunday? And then we said, let's flip it into these are some amazing conversations we're having about life, diving in, and I could pitch, he could catch, and it was great. And then we said, you know what, let's take this to that next level. Let's why don't we share this information? This is I'm all about dissecting life. I love dissecting life's many, numerous millions, billions of interactions and things we've gone through, and by nature, I look at myself. This is how I look at myself. Look at myself as a philosopher, meaning I'll question everything. And being in the health and wellness space, I interact with humans all the time, constantly, like on a deep level. So I'm always wondering, what's your journey? How did this, and the anatomy, the physiology, and life and biology and all the ologies. I'm always interested in how does this thing work. And so when I meet, and this is where we wanted to go with this podcast, we wanted it be a space where we question and ask questions and not looking for answers. We're not on here giving you answers to life. It's impossible. There's no one that can do that. No one. But we want to have you even asked? Instead of being numbed out by media and junky stuff online and what doom scrolling, is the buzzword of the day. And so why don't we ask questions? If we don't ask, this is how we get led down to slaughter if we're not asking. And this is why many times in war societies and people were trying to control a certain place, they would get rid of the people who ask questions. Socrates, I think, was apparently killed for asking questions. They wanted him to stop asking questions. So, and he said, no, I'll drink the poison and he won't stop asking questions. So, questions, 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 without looking for answers, by the way, just to further your thinking. There's no answers I found to anything. That's what I was, when I used to teach science, therapy, massage therapy, and physiology. And people always want to know, is it 4 or 5 of these, or is it 6 of this? If I do this, a recipe. There's no recipe when it comes to humans. It's just cook and see what happens, what flavors come out, and how can you change, how can you make it better. So when I met Dr. Charlie, this is what we kind of hit off with this conversations we were having without answers, just led to new insights. And so I learned a lot from him, which I'll dive into real quick as we unpack this episode. But I'm gonna introduce Ray here to have a few words about when he met him and so on. Then we'll lead into the conversation.
Thank you, Alvin. And, just to take this moment to commemorate Dr. Charlie is just right. Okay,
Mm-hmm.
I've met him close to 5 years ago. Uh, let's say I'm the young buck in
Mm-hmm.
in the group, and I was just looking for something at that time just to challenge myself, continue to learn, contribute, uh, also, and me and Alvin met, and Alvin had this great idea to, hey, have me come on the calls, starting on Sundays. And Charlie and I, we hit it off right away. He's a former college football player, same thing for me. So we connected there right away. And we always say in sports, as football is life in some way. And there is always so much wisdom to take away from our experience there. But if there's one thing that I learned from Charlie among so many, and what I think is awesome right now as I think about it is that I've documented all of our notes, okay, for the
Mm-hmm.
past 4 or 5 years of all the wisdoms that he added every single week. So I get to go back to that. But one thing I remember from Charlie that he always said is that life is not linear. Okay. Um, I look at his story for the people who know him or even the people who don't know him. This is someone who carved his own path. This is someone who showed that hey, it's not just one straight line. You can go A, B, D, C, D and create amazing things. This is someone who truly cared and who was there for his friends. Whenever I needed him, he was there. Right. So for all the people who got the opportunity to see him live and speak, I see. Well, you guys have an idea of what that was. Well, for me, I'm just grateful that every single week I got to sit down, interact with this man, and learn from his wisdom. Also, right. So I'll just kind of start off with this, but let's just say that it's different with Charlie not being here. Okay, definitely, we're gonna carry the torch as we always have because that's what we do for each other. And everything that Charlie brought to the table stays with us, and I'm so grateful for him. So I'll just start off with this, and I'll
Mm-hmm.
pass the
Yeah.
mic.
Yes. Yes, definitely, definitely. So a few things then over the years. He came to Canada for the first time. He never um he had a US passport. He never had a international passport. So he came across to Canada, got a passport, made a decision, came to host my first event, the Greatness event, with me in 2015. And so when he came over, we were talking about, about my audience members, how a lot of them were struggling at that time, and I was saying they went this far in their journey and they're still kind of trying to find their way. And I said, Alvin, I want to let you know that when you met me, I was also that guy who was, he went to chiropractic school. He put himself through school. Whatever Charlie did, this is one thing I can say about him. Whatever he did, what I got from him was when he put his mind to something, he got it done. He worked at Purelator, I think it was. Um, and he took that company, the team at that Purelator he was at, he took it from bottom basement, struggling, to top of the company. And so then he decided, okay, I want to carve my own path. So he went to put himself through school, chiropractic school. So that means that's 4 years of intense study to get his doctorate in chiropractic. And while having kids, and so I can resonate with that. I did the same. So that's where we connected. So he put himself through, and then he didn't have the greatest of, when he got out of school, he didn't have the greatest of breaks. Finding a good employer to start with as a contractor, and he it wasn't so as successful as he expected. The expectation wasn't there again, but being resilient as he is, he said, Alvin, I just want to let you know that I was dragging lawnmowers up my neighborhood, cutting lawns to make ends meet, while I was, working to get this chiropractic profession going. And I said, wow, I didn't know that, man. And he said, yeah, my suit you saw me in was from Value Village. When Dr. Hill asked me to come speak, I had 3 breakfast bars in my pocket, and I but he came to speak. So he was relentless about getting better. He was relentless about improving his situation that he was in, and he put his pride away and he did what he needed to do to survive, to get through. So I thought, wow, I actually felt bad because here I was talking about these other guys' situations, and he said, no, that was me. I was like, wow, I didn't know that. So sometimes you don't know what someone's going through in their lives. And again, this is why it's again, we're human, but this is why you attempt not to put people in a category, a box, and judge them. Um, they have their own journey, but as long as you're relentless about not giving up on your position, um, it's not where you start, because sometimes you don't get the greatest of breaks where you start. You can't control sometimes where you start, in a family or in a neighborhood or in a culture or in a situation, a country that war torn, who knows what it is, a ghetto, low income. You can't control that, but you can control where you end. And that's what Dr. Chai was on his path to shifting his past situation into something that he, successful, that he wanted to have ending that way. So I learned from him that humility piece and relentlessness about achieving your greatness. He fell 7 that I can see and got up 8, and just kept on going. And even in his speaking career, when we kept associating together and talking every week, he would be at a company that he wasn't happy with, and he wasn't getting treated right at this company. And he always wanted to be a speaker. But again, and he spoke for the company actually. It was all about insurance, I believe. And he spoke for the company. And they would send him around town, and he never felt like he got the respect he needed for that. But again, he didn't give up. He kept working on his side game, and then he took the leap. Finally, at some point in his path at this company, after feeling kept down and pushed down and dejected, he said, I'm going to make the leap again, one more leap again. So he kept taking these leaps of faith, and so he took a leap again to give up the security of this job, for a leap into the speaking world of speaking. Really go all in, burn his ships, cut all ties, and dive right in. And that's what he did. And he was again starting to make leaps and bounds in that space. He was starting to get well recognized, known, sought after. Gigs are popping up. People are starting to really know his name. So again, his relentless mission and vision to improve himself was at the heart of it. So if if he was here, he would want you to take a lesson from that and say never, no matter where you are, no matter how many times you've been, and he's told me many stories. And if you go back in our podcast, he talked about it. He didn't have the greatest of upbringings, the greatest of situations where he was. But again, he had this relentless drive and passion to be better than he was. So I don't know where you're at listening to this podcast, where you're at in your life, but where you began doesn't have to be where you end. And if you fell 7, get up one more time, get up 8, and keep pushing, keep driving, because that's something that definitely, if anything else I can say, Dr. Charlie was he had this relentless passion to change his trajectory, and he was on that path. So, Ray.
One of the things we always talk about weekly, okay, for the past few years and on, is that we recognize the potential that lives in all of us.
Mm-hmm.
All of us have potential, but that doesn't mean anything unless we use it, unless we plant it, we build our house upon it, we water it, we take care of it, right? So for Charlie, one thing he used to talk about is seeds of greatness. Okay, imagine walking around and you have seeds of greatness in your pockets. Where are you using them? You know, as Alvin just said, over and over and over again, he committed his life to putting seeds out there, planting, okay? Not just walking around and not looking to contribute to something more. While he's here, making sure that those seeds get out of those pockets before he passes on. Mission accomplished. All right, that's something he did. But one of the things I take from this also is that he planted his flag. It's one thing to just put a seed down and water it, it's another thing to plant your flag, build your house there, and say, I'm going for it. Let's see what's going to happen from this. Let's refine this potential. Let's truly, truly, truly try to see this through and see what I can become through his speaking, which I believe was really his gift. He impacted a lot of people, and he truly planted that seed of greatness. So if there's one thing I can take for me, and same thing for anybody else who's listening, is what are your seeds of greatness? And are you making sure that every day you're planting something? Because it's not only you that benefits, but a lot of other people, maybe the whole world. You know, we never know. That's something that Charlie really, really cared about. That's something that he thought about. Okay, is really impacting many, many people and planting those seeds of greatness. And for that, I thought that was very inspiring every single week to listen to. And it's a great reminder for myself and all of us, really is. What am I planting? What am I protecting? What am I looking to grow each day? And am I really planting my flag, burning those ships, as Alvin said, for something that I truly believe in, okay? And that I'm willing to see it through, good or bad, day in, day out, with discipline, with resilience, doing the road work, as he used to say, you know,
Mm-hmm.
being on the road all the time, because that also a part of it. We will get tired through it. We will face struggles. We will be challenged, but we believe into what we're doing enough to keep moving forward. Okay, everyone wins and everyone benefits when that happens. And I want to thank Charlie for that. And with that, I'll
Mhm.
pass the mic.
All right, excellent. I'm going back to, as I'm looking through my notes and looking at some of the wisdoms that Doctor, I know specifically the Dr. Charlie that he brought back. One of the wisdom he kept going back to in our relationship was this wisdom by Walt Disney. And Walt Disney, and it's one that I grabbed a hold of and really locked in on. He said, "Do what you do so well that they want to see it again and bring their friends." And this is something that he's always said, and this is something that he lived by. I know that for sure. Whatever it is that you do out there, write, dance, lead, run a company, whatever it is you do it so well. Imagine doing it so well that not only your audience, wants to see it again, but they're going to bring friends with them. That's a true success. And that's what I believe. Everything I do, my therapy, my coaching, that's the underlying goal is I want to do it so well that not only do you want to see it again, but you want to bring friends, referrals, tell friends. You got to see this. Because when something's so good, it's rare that we want to keep it a secret, right? We got to, oh man, listen, you got to go see this guy. You got to go see this girl. You got to go see this thing. You got to taste this. Go eat there. Go do that. Go. Oh, when you go to that company, I hope you end in this guy's team. He's an amazing leader. Whatever it is, right? Buy it again. Do it again. Come see it. So I love that quote that he said. He shared it, and I really, everything I do, it embodies how I want to live my life. I want to do it so well that you want to see it again and also bring friends. So I thought that was a huge one. The other one, as I look back from our time together, there's another quote here that I want to share with you. He said this. Well, he shared this one, and I took it. The present is the only place life ever happens, yet it's the place we visit the least. The present is the only place life happens, yet it is the place we visit the least. So many of us are wandering off into, and I wrote about this. The future usually presents for most people anxiety and fear because anxiety typically doesn't come from the past because you already know how that movie ends. Anxiety comes from the anticipation of something that you're fearful of, that you don't know how it's gonna go, and that's what creates this thing in your mind. And if it is, let's say you argue and you say, well, no, it could be also in the past. Anxiety, well, you could remember something that happened and you're anticipating it going the same way again. So again, it's a future past being shoved into the future of what's going to happen again. Geez, I went through this thing, got bullied, got, I don't know if I like that situation, that, and it's coming again. So it creates anxiety. And then in the past, it's usually shame and guilt, typically, right? Some people can be excited about the future, but I'm just talking about typically humans because I think humans, we're wired for what's wrong. So we tend to lean to the what's wrong version in life. And because it's survival, bottom line. If I can, no one in the past, rugged society wants to walk around going, oh, what's good? The rustling bush. Oh, that must be opportunity behind that bush. No. What's the, oh, I hear a roar in the distance. Oh, that must be opportunity. Let's go check out the, no, we're going to think what's wrong. That's why negative news leads. Everybody's drawn towards gossip, towards something, confrontation. So we tend then, in our nature, to go in the past and have shame, guilt, regret. Tend to. So not, very few people go back and go, "Oh man, that was amazing," and spend our whole time just remembering the good times. No, because if out of 10 people, if one person didn't like you, that's the person we focus on, not the nine. So that's our nature. So, but if we can harness the present right now and do what we can right now, enjoy your family right now, enjoy the food you're eating right now, enjoy the sleep, enjoy the peace, enjoy the pain-free life right now, enjoy your success right now. It's a beautiful place to hang out. But we win, we're happy, or we get a raise, we get whatever it is, we married, we kids, and we get the things we want. But guess where our mind goes? Oh, we want something else, or comparison, or so. The present is the only place life ever happens. Yet it's the place we visit the least. Thanks, Dr. Charlie. Ray.
I'll piggyback off of that real quick. Present moment is a gift. It's a
Mm-hmm.
gift that we don't often realize how precious it is, and we often take for granted. Guys, Alvin and I were having a conversation as we always do on Sunday mornings, and one Sunday Charlie wasn't there, and we figured, okay, he might be on the road, he might be a little bit tired,
Mm-hmm.
and everything else happened so fast we barely even had a chance to say goodbye. In fact, we didn't have a chance to say goodbye. Okay, so there are a lot of things to learn when it comes to this. Is it might be cliche, but it's the truth. We don't know how much time we have. We
Mm-hmm.
don't.
Mm-hmm.
And we talk about the people who have departed, but for anyone else who's still here and who has friends and who has people that they talked about, we ask ourselves, what can could we do anything more? Okay. And I just say, dig deeper into your relationships. There's nothing wrong with that. And just asking the question, how is someone truly uh, doing? Okay. Just get a little bit closer. Meet them on those bridges because we don't know. And if there's another thing also, and Alvin's a great example of this for the people who follow him, who I've seen the challenge he just completed recently. Take care of your health
Mm-hmm.
because there might be a lot of problems in life until you have that one, which goes over anything else. So, really, all I'm saying is that, man, we're so lucky and grateful just to be here right now. And we
Mm-hmm.
don't realize
Yep.
how much. We're so lucky, lucky. We're so blessed to be healthy also
Mm-hmm.
and to have great relationship and to have friends. Let's not be passive on those friendships.
Mm-hmm.
Let's dig deeper. Let's extend a hand. Let's be there for each other even more. There's absolutely no regrets on our end, but just great lessons to be learned,
Mm-hmm.
from our friend and what happened. And from those lessons, it's simply, yeah, to get a little bit closer.
Yeah.
Okay. That one extra question is not in vain. It's okay. It's great just to ask it.
Mm-hmm.
And that's makes life even that much better for all of us. Okay, so for anyone who's out there listening, I wish you the absolute best. I wish your friends and your people the absolute best, and health and success and everything else that comes with it. And hopefully, you learn this same lesson as we have. That it's always a good thing to just dig a little bit deeper and get a little bit closer,
Mm-hmm.
even as friends.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And to go on that note, to my one of my final things, but over the next few years and time, Ray and I, we'll be sprinkling a little Dr. Charlie in our conversations, and so I'm gonna close out with this one that he gave us to the present moment, where Ray just talked about this idea of, you know, valuing what you have right now, as he was saying. But he goes back to the previous quote about the present moment, and that's the only way you can value what you have right now. And little things, gratitude, man, gratitude opens everything up. When you think about what someone right now, whenever you're listening to, it doesn't even matter when you're listening to this. Could be midnight, could be anytime, 24 hours a day, anytime you listen to this. Right now, someone is going through something that would give everything to have what you have right now. The fact that you can listen to this podcast means you have a lot of things. First of all, a means of listening to it. Two, time to listen to it. Three, peace to listen to it. I mean, there's so many things that go with it. So honor that. And I'll finish off with this one from Dr. Charlie, another one he left with us. The labels we place on other people fracture opportunities. Again, the label we place on other people fracture opportunities. So again, another, Ray and I were talking about this. I've now whittled down life to one basic thing, one thing: survival. Survival. Every superficial level of interaction is based on our need for survival. So when you think we put labels on people, why? Because we want to automatically predict what they may, are they safe for us, or are they going to harm us? So we walk in a room, we judge. Okay, safe. And again, I wrote about this in my book. The fact that 93% of communication is nonverbal. 93. So 7 is what I'm blah, blah, blah. But you're now judging me. You're looking at me. You're listening to me. You're looking at my body language. We do this to scan the environment to see what's safe. Oh, you're safe. You're not safe. I'm not going to sit beside you. I'm going to go here. I feel safer. So safe. But your perception is based on so many things: your culture, your background, your experiences, your past experiences. That person looked like that person. So again, we put labels. You're black, you're white, you're straight, you're gay, you're Canadian, American, you're this, you're that, brown, white, black, whatever. We just run around going label, 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 because we're looking for safety. We're looking to match, but be careful of the label we put on other people, because we're going to miss somebody amazing. We're going to miss somebody that could change our lives. We're going to miss somebody who could make an impact. And we're going to also miss making an impact because of that label. So, Dr. Charlie, thanks again. The labels we place on other people fracture opportunities. Be mindful of that. So, that's one of my final quotes or wisdoms from Dr. Charlie, as we close this out. Ray?
The only extra quote I'll add for today from him is a great one, and adds on to that is um, curiosity is a
Mm-hmm.
prerequisite to friendship,
Yeah.
and also a fuel from it.
Mm-hmm.
So be curious
Yeah.
about knowing more about what your friends are up to, how they're feeling,
Yeah.
where they're at. It's a
Yeah.
prerequisite.
Yeah. Awesome. All right, everybody. So, um, Dr. Charlie, rest in peace. I will miss you. We will miss you. The world, those of you impacted, will miss you. Um, you've made an impact. You've done your thing, my friend. Um, you left the world a little bit better for many when you've spoken, when you've impacted rooms filled with hundreds. They went home better than when you came. You did your thing. You did it so well that they came to see you again, and they brought friends, my friend. So, with that, rest in peace. So, um, our last word before we go out, that one word, as my Dr. Tom Hill would say, one thing well executed will change your life forever. So my one word, three words: make an impact. Make an impact.
I'll go with two. Thank you.
Yes. Amen.
Thank you, Charlie.
Amen. Amen. All right, everybody. What when you listen back at this, what's the one thing you will take away? How will knowing, listening to the podcast, listen to Dr. Charlie's wisdom, how will that impact you? So it just doesn't go in one ear out the other as we typically do. All right, with that, we're going to leave you with the thing that we all love to say. We're going to wish you peace.
Yes.
We're going to send you love and with a little bit of soul. All right, everybody. Until we talk again, love on who you need to love on. Have those conversations that you should have to take the relationship deeper. And yeah, honor those people, honor you. All right. Peace. We'll talk.